end of day 5 of Drift Week, third track day. We're at Indy Motorsport Ranch. I had a good time, but I didn't get to drive as much as I wanted to, and he did not get to drive at all as much as he wanted to. I feel so bad for him, but he's gonna get his Corvette running. It's blown up, but we're not gonna talk about that. I have so many other questions for him. So first of all, what's your name?
Axel Francois. Axel is my first name.
So first off, what is the biggest difference in American and French drifting? There goes Trevor on 5 cylinders.
The main difference, we mainly use BMW because it's very cheap over there. And in US you have more different kind of cars for cheap. Like your 350Z you can get for 2 or 3 times less expensive than what we can get in France. So yeah, it's pretty rare to see a 350Z, S14 and Corvette drifting in France. Only a professional driver have fancy cars, but for grassroots it's more BMWs, E36 and E46. This is the difference, and also some of tracks are different. We have more tracks like this one today because it's road course. So mainly we have got road course, and we only have one oval in France. So mainly the tracks are different. Also we have drift competition on Togé. They closed roads.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And
that sounds amazing.
That's amazing. Like with a 600 or 800 horsepower car.
Why don't I see this more?
Because you don't watch French drifting. You have to see European and French
Did they
drifting.
put it in English?
No.
No?
There is no
You'll have to
subtitles.
link it to me so I can link
I will
it in
send
the
you
video.
some footage.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah. That's my preferred parts of the competition. It's on a Togé course. We have like 5 or 6 turns, and we do battles with falls, trees, rocks.
Wow.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Do they do that a lot, or is it a once a year thing?
No, we have 4 events, 4 different events on a road. So
that's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, we love that.
They don't do that at all in America.
And they could. You have some bendy roads actually, not here, over here, but in California. I've been in above Malibu, and I did. I don't know if I can say that, but with the vet I did some Togé drift in California.
I think in Europe there's more of a how do you say culture of rally, and they're more used to renting out roads and doing things on public roads than they are in America. We don't have that culture here, so they just don't do it. It's sad though, because it sounds amazing to me, and it sounds like you could pick some really cool places. You could do it here in America. I don't think it's very often, and you don't ever see anybody do it. It's just not something that's done, which is sad because it sounds so cool.
And also your rally, it's more a gravel rally.
Yeah.
Here in USA, you know, I know Dave from Rally Ready.
Yeah.
And we talk a lot because it's a good friend, and he explained me rally in USA it's on gravel. It's pretty fast rally, but yes, in Europe we have very bendy road because I live 1 hour from the Alps, so you can get like in Japan. You know Japan, so it's close. You know this kind of road, very tiny roads. Yeah.
And I didn't introduce him very well. You're a professional driver from France. Is that a good way to say it? Are you a professional driver?
What is professional for you?
You make your living off of drifting.
Yes, I've got sponsors from last year. If I can show them. Aisin, it's a very huge company. They make
transmissions,
parts.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely, for Toyota.
Okay.
So they helped me a lot from last year. They pay for everything for race. Yeah, so that's very cool. That's why I run a Toyota GT86 with a 1UZ turbo, and they helped me a lot. Also Seika for many different stuff, suspension and brakes, etc. So we can say I'm a professional driver today. I don't make money, a salary with that, but it costs me nothing. So I make money with my drift school.
Right, but that means you also have a drift school.
Yeah.
So you're doing professional drifting in some capacity. No matter what you're doing, you're bringing it in from all drifters have to hustle from different directions.
I know.
Yeah, so I was going to say you are a
before.
professional then.
Yeah, now I can say yes, I am a professional drifter. Today I live with drifting, I make a living with it. But decades ago I started as a lumberjack. That's why Netflix gave me this nickname, you know, on
Lumberjack?
Hyperdrive. Yeah, the Lumberjack, it's my nickname. Because I started this job to make money and to buy a S13, and I start with it. It was pretty hard, but years after years, more experience, and I decided also to change job, and I start as an instructor 10 years ago, and I do instructor for rally school, for different kind of school. And we decided 6 years ago with my girlfriend, Liz, I love you, I miss you a lot. And we decided to set up a drift school, Extreme Drift. And now we rental cars, we rental tracks, 3 different tracks, and we propose some drift trainings on our own cars.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're the only person I know of that has a BMW engine in an S13. Why did you put it in there? Is that a good idea?
My dream was to have a S13 with a straight 6 turbo. So 1 JZ could be a good idea, 2 JZ also. But the thing is, it's very expensive in France to get. And when I started to build this car, I build with $20 in my pocket.
Oh God.
So I have to find solutions. And I was like, before that, decades ago, I was dreaming about Japanese car and American car. I didn't like so much German cars, but times after times and with experience, my vision changed. And that's why I decided to use a BMW engine, because it's very cheap, and actually it's a 1 JZ. It's a straight 6, 2.5 liters, 24 valves, and when you add a turbo on it, it's like a 1J. But you can do that for probably 3 or 4 grand, finish with everything. And if you break an engine, right? If you broke an engine, you can just replace it with a $600 engine.
Is it an M50?
Yeah.
Okay.
M15 non-Vanos are the best for turbo because thicker rods and pistons are a little bit stronger. So that's why I decided to do that.
Why not a 3-liter or a 3.2 BMW engine?
Just because they are very expensive now. The M3 engine we got in Europe, we know, with a throttle body.
Oh, it's better. We get it.
Way
Yes.
better
It's
than
better.
yours. But the thing is, for an engine now, it's close to 4,000. So if you break it, it's 4,000 in the trash.
It's a good engine, though.
Yeah, they are very good.
Yeah.
They're very expensive. And actually, the M50 is more reliable when you keep it stock. Yeah. Because my engine, you saw on Hyperdrive, it's full stock engine. The only modification is ARP head stud and metal gasket. That's it. Turbo on it. And even I broke it, this engine have 2 seasons. And I drove it like a maniac, so...
That's good.
It handled pretty well, and it's soon like 1 JZ.
Do you like the sound as much as a 1J?
I prefer JZ sound, of course, but I prefer to trash a $600 engine than a 2 or 3K engine. And at the end of the day, my car was on the Dino a few months ago, and we've got 480 horsepower. So it's pretty good. Yeah, for the price. Power, reliability, easy to get parts in Europe, and pretty lightweight. It's a little bit more lightweight than the
JZ.
Yeah.
Gearboxes
very cheap, reliable, better than a 154. Because they get very pricey today. So
why not a German car?
Because like I told you, I started drifting 15 years ago at the beginning in Europe. And the only vision we've got about drifting was Japanese stuff. And I remember when I was 14 years old, like 20 years ago, I was on internet, a forum, Japanese car forum, and I saw a footage of 2 Japanese guys with S13 doing a battle. And I was like, I want to do that one day. And I found a S13 pretty cheap. That's why I start with a S13. But after breaking 5 engine, because we've got a CA18 DET, not very reliable engine. I broke 5 of them. That's why I decided to stopped to be a fanboy.
Yes.
I started to being just reflecting about what is the best bang for buck. Can I say that?
Yeah. So that's a really good point, because a lot of people get into drifting with the vision of Japanese is best, or like, a very narrow vision of what they think is cool, and it ruins drifting for them. Because if you only did very specific Japanese engines in France, I would assume that you would have burnt out and had to stop because it become too expensive
Exact.
or too hard. And I think a lot of people burn themselves out because they're not willing to do that. And it's very cool the differences in each part of the world, what makes sense, because you come to America and you see a lot of 350Zs and a lot of things like that's not normal here.
I know. It's not normal in Europe.
Yeah.
I've got one, a GZX 90 with 4 seats inside.
Yeah.
Very reliable car. 1J is very reliable. The rest of the car, everything is good in this car, but yeah, it's pricey because you have to import them. You have a lot of tax in France also, big tax to import cars. Probably 3 or 4 of them in France, in the whole country. Probably 4 GZX, no more.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But you have a lot of cool M5s and a lot of cool other cars.
Of
you
course.
don't need those things. They're just,
We don't need it. Yeah, we don't need it. Actually, we have got a good Mercedes and BMW. I don't know why, but there is not so much Mercedes, and they are pretty decent car.
In France, do they come with manual transmissions? In America,
I think the main problem,
only automatic for
that's
the past
the main
20
problem.
years.
Yeah, because all the good Mercedes with good engine, they are automatic. So that's why probably not so much people take a Mercedes. Yeah, and BMW they have more manual gearbox. So yeah, we've got a lot of M3, E36 2.5i, 2.8, E46 also with 3 liters. Yeah, that's pretty good cars when you want seat time. You know, if you want seat time, you go for E36 or E46. You drive, and when you break it, you can fix it. Yeah.
Or just get a new one.
Yeah, or just get a new one. Yeah. But they get.
Is drifting growing? Stagnant, like just staying there, or is it dying? Which way is drifting going?
Exploding.
Exploding?
Yeah, because now on the French organization, you can get 100 drivers for just one event. For a local event.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
so there's
that's
still
very
a lot of people drifting over there.
Yeah.
And do they come from just one city? Do they come from hundreds of kilometers away? Do they come from other countries?
Yeah.
How far do people come from?
It depends. If it's for French championship, people come from around the country. You know, our country is the same size of Texas, so that's not very big. You can cross.
It's not that big.
Yeah,
Texas
not
is
that
bigger.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, everything is bigger in Texas. I know that.
I saw you recently in a Drift Masters video.
Yeah.
The event looked fantastic. Do you enjoy driving that series? How many events have you driven with them? Is it something you want to continue doing? Like, tell me about that.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say, but I will do it again this season. They allowed me to do the 2020 season.
Okay.
I'm very proud because Drift Master actually it's one of the best series probably on Earth. Sorry, but
no, go for it.
That's what I think. I'm one of the lowest driver, you know, the worst driver over there, but I do my best. Over there, the drivers, you know, we have very famous drivers. It's very hard. Very hard. We have 6 events far away from France. We don't have event this year. And we have to go to Lithuania, we have to go in England, in also Ireland, many different countries, Austria, etc. And I love it because that improved my skill. Because so many good drivers, so many good cars. I learned a lot last year. I did the whole season, so it was my car was pretty good, but not enough, and me neither. I was not. My skill was. I have to improve my skill, so I will continue to learn.
Driving been against the best drivers in the world.
Yeah.
They're ridiculously good.
It's crazy. Woo!
So we're at Drift Week right now.
Yeah.
How dumb of an idea is this? Pretty dumb.
Oh yeah, very dumb idea, but I love it.
So why did you do it if it's such a dumb idea? Because this is a prototype for me. I've never done anything like this. None of us have.
Yeah, nobody did that.
We don't know what kind of cars we should have brought. We don't know the tools we should have brought. We didn't know much about the tracks we're going to. What do you have to say about all this? Like, how hard is it? I mean, you're going to be swapping an engine on a Corvette, which is not easy.
No, your idea is crazy. I love that. We know Lone Star Drift have a crazy idea, and when I heard about that, it's Fielding Schroeder. He told me about this idea, and I was like, "Can I do that?" He was like, "I would love to, but I have to ask to Aaron."
Yeah.
And he asked you, and you have a good answer about that. Like, yes, you can be a part of that. And
My answer, by the way, was you can be a part of it, but I don't want to ruin your life.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So to be clear, I was like,
I do drifting from
like,
15 years. I know exactly. It could be a mess. It could be very hard.
Yeah.
I was just afraid about breaking an engine, and that's happened.
You did it, yes.
I did it. No, the idea is amazing. And you know, every morning when I wake up, I remember life can be very short, but like very, very short. It can be my last day. That's why I'm here today, because it's a dream. And even it's very hard to being a part of this dream. I just want to be there. I'm just so proud and so happy to hanging out with all of these crazy drivers, with this mentality, you know, and this adventure. It's amazing in crossing your country, very big country. I've got the American dream. So that's also why I'm here, because it's the road trip of my life, actually.
I'm glad you're getting to be a part of that and do all that. And feel the highs and lows. I felt both today.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, oh, it's so much fun on top of the world. And you're just like, oh, I need to go sit down and like be by myself.
I can't complain. I choose my life. I choose to being here. I was aware that can be very hard, and it's hard today, but I choose.
So you're doing it from a foreign country, and I was thinking about doing Drift Week Japan next. So like Drift Week America, USA, Drift Week Japan, maybe Drift Week Australia. I don't know if I could do it in another country after doing this.
Like Europe? The thing is, here in USA, you have more freedom. You can drive this kind of car on road, on the street. In Europe, it's impossible.
Really?
Like, it's possible until the cops stop you and find you. Because laws in France, if you change the size of your wheels, you are not allowed to drive your car. Because it's not stock.
So your drift cars are not legal to drive in?
No, when we do that illegal, totally illegal.
Wow. And do they catch you a lot?
We do that, we reflect before doing that. We don't do that in the middle of the city. We go in the mountain, you know, in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. Do you get caught drifting in France ever?
We have some, but the modification have to be very small modification. Decades ago it was easier because our technical inspection was easier to get, but now it's very strict, very hard. So I don't know how you could organize that in Europe. Probably some country like Poland or Lithuania have more freedom in their laws and rules. And if you have Lithuanian plate, you can drive in Germany, in France also.
Okay.
So that could be probably the only possibility.
So it's very cool that we can do this in America and pull it off. Like, we're driving ridiculous cars. Some of these cars are not legal in the United States. Like, the VIN numbers and stuff don't work.
But you do that.
But yeah, we do it. It's whatever.
I do also in Europe. That, you know, with all these people, it could be very bad if somebody is very stuck. You know, if the police stop the car and don't allow you to go back on the road.
Okay, the game, just reply back as fast as you can.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
How many tires have you been through in drifting total?
For the drift week?
Total.
Total? Ever?
Ever. Fast. Come on.
1,000.
1,000. Okay. Who is the best drifter in the world?
No, more than 1,000, sorry. The best drifter in the world? I have many. Keiichi Tsuchiya, Daigo Saito, Nakamura.
Do you think Sucia is still that good?
Yes.
Okay. All right. What is the best drift car in the world? You can just pick one professional drift car in the world.
I love the Matfield car because I love Corvette, but actually it's not the best. I don't know.
What's your favorite?
I love Corvette, but I love Japanese
that's
cars
good.
also. Okay,
That's good.
Daigo Saito car.
Which one?
The vet.
The Vet.
The Vet.
The
Okay.
GZX is very nice.
How many engines have you blown ever?
Blown?
Yes. How many engines have you gone through total?
This one, less than 10.
Best place to drift. Come on.
The Toge.
Toge?
Yes.
Okay. Who is your favorite driver? Did we already say it? Your favorite.
Favorite. I love Sébastien Loeb, but it's not drifting, it's rally.
Okay.
But I love his career and what he did. In drifting, I love Daigo. It's not just because he's good, because probably there are other drivers as good as him.
Yeah.
It's more about his mentality. It's 110% all the time.
Who's the best driver at Drift Week? You've got Matt Field, Chelsea, Luke Fink. You got to pick one of these guys. Who's the best?
I don't know who is the best, but I like the stupid thing about Luke Fink. I like Luke Fink because he's crazy.
Because he's a bogan?
What?
They call it's like Australian redneck, they say.
Okay,
is
yeah,
a bogan.
redneck. I know what is a redneck. Yeah, probably.
What's the best car on Drift Week? The Corvette, obviously.
Yeah, the Corvette, but also I really love the S14 because I love S chassis.
Fielding?
With fielding car is very nice because 2J and good car.
Best engine. What's the best engine in the world for drifting?
One UZ.
You could only have one.
UZ turbo.
No!
Absolutely.
That's ridiculous.
Okay, come in my car and you will.
One UZ turbo.
You can't
Is
imagine.
it a stock engine?
Stock engine with ARP head stud, metal gasket, like on the M50, same. And you can get between 600 to 800 horsepower. And if you break it, it's $600.
Yeah.
So one UZ is the best. And believe
Those are
me,
fighting words.
I drove probably more than 100 different drift cars.
Yeah.
And the one UZ is.
What's the
best.
best track on Drift Week so far that we've been to?
Until now, this one, but unfortunately, I didn't drive.
You didn't drive it. I only drove like that much. We're done. Thank you so much. Let's go load up and get out of here.